I'm Jim Kennedy, and I'm here this morning to welcome you to the Gardens at Ball. What we're going to do in this short video is we're going to give you a preview of the different stations throughout the garden, what you're going to see when you come here. Registration is open, and I encourage each of you to pre-register for one of the 12 days that we're going to be open here this summer. When you arrive, the first thing you'll see is our registration tent. Inside the registration tent, you'll have a map, and on the map it shows a one-way flow throughout the stops and the stations in the garden. The pre-registration also allows us to know how many are going to be here each day and gives us a plan to prepare and plan ahead so that we can keep appropriate distancing and make sure that everyone feels really safe in visiting the gardens. Additionally, you'll have a new variety booklet. This will act as a record of the new varieties for 2021, and it gives you a place to take notes and to keep a record of your favorites throughout your tour. So, make sure that you grab your mask, and let's go ahead and get started. Our first stop is the Pan American seed area. In this area, we're going to take a look at a large bed of wave petunias, as well as a couple other featured products from Pan American Seed. So let's take a walk through. Pan American Seed is a world-class seed breeding and production company. It's part of the Ball Horticultural Company, and it's the home of the wave petunia. And we have a huge bed of waves right here. It's probably one of the signature products of Pan American Seed over the years. And this is the 25th anniversary of wave. This bed right here really captures it. You have the Wave Purple Classic in the middle, and then all the way to the new varieties like Easy Wave Rose Fusion. We have the Shockwave Purple Dye on the far corner. The Easy Wave Pink Passion was recently introduced. That's here on this front corner. So Wave Petunias is a signature product of Pan American Seed. You'll also notice all these vegetables along this aisle. Pan American Seed has recently launched the hand-picked collection, and this breeding is amazing, bringing really interesting features to the vegetable category, and it's been a rapidly growing and an exciting product line. Right next to the Wave Petunia bed is an amazing bed of Zinnia Elegans. This bed of Zinnia Elegans has the Zesty Zinnia series. It's going into its third year in the North American market, and it's done phenomenally well. It's a must-see flower bed here at the Gardens at Ball this summer. And before we leave the Pan American Seed area, make sure that you take a look for the Marvel 2 Marigold series, as well as the Tyshans. Both are in the African Marigold line, and comparing the two will really help you make the most of your African Marigold program. Now, for our very next stop, it's just next door, Ball Flora Plant and Selecta. Let's go take a look. Ball Flora Plant and Selecta are the vegetative annuals, breeding and production companies within the Ball family. In this part of the garden, we have a strong feature on their genetics. Two areas that we'd like to concentrate here. Make sure you don't leave without looking at the whole Calibrachoa assortment, and think about how that can measure up with your Calibrachoas. What changes could you make to your program based on the new varieties that you'll see here? The other area of emphasis is petunias. The Color Rush Petunia series is featured in the Sky Frames, one of the favorite features here in the Gardens at Ball. And then we also have in this area the Bee's Knees Yellow. The Bee's Knees Yellow is the brightest and the most fun vegetative petunia that I've ever seen. And you'll see it here at the Gardens at Ball. So our very next stop is the Burpee Home Gardens, which is right up on the other side of the comparison beds. Let's head that way. Entering the Burpee area, you might think, what are all these vegetables? I thought Ball Seed was a flower seed company. Well, we are, but we also have millions and millions of vegetable seeds. And you can see some of the favorites right here in the Burpee area. We also have the All-American Selection Trials, and then we have a full broad trial out in the back of many different varieties. One of my favorites, though it's way too hot for me to eat, is a new pepper called Armageddon, and it's hot. So make sure you check that one out when you're here. And where I want to head to next is the Ball Ingenuity area. It's right around the corner, right this way. Ball Ingenuity, what's that? So Pan American Seed, that's seed. Ball Flora Plant, that's vegetative. Ball Ingenuity is breeding and production from third parties that are sold exclusively through Ball Seed in North America. Here at the Gardens at Ball this summer, we have some great examples of that. The Philodendron, Shangri-La. We also have the Spring Fling Begonia line, which is bred by Duman. And then we have an amazing Diamantina, which is a series of Diplodenia. So you got to take a look at those too. Next stop, Pavilion. About halfway through your tour, there's a pavilion here in the gardens. It's a great place to sit down at a table, jot down your notes from the first half of the tour, make sure you indicate a few of your highlights, a few of your favorites. There's also an amazing lineup here of the Kenmara hydrangeas. You can't miss that. These come from Aldershot, one of our suppliers. We also have dormant hydrangeas from the Creekside supplier as well. We really need to head over to those beacons on the far side, right there in that south corner of the garden. That's my favorite bed in the garden, Beacon Impatiens. Let's head that way. What's my favorite spot in the Gardens at Ball this summer in 2020? If you circle 905 on your map, it's the Beacon Impatiens. The Beacon Impatiens, highly resistant to Impatiens downy mildew. They bring confidence to shade gardens across North America, and an awesome example of those here in the gardens in the corner on the south end. In this part of the garden, we also have the sun container area, which features many products from breeders around the world, and it's one that you've got to see. Our final stop is going to be the Perennial Beds, and we're going to head that way right now. Don't stop. Our overwintering perennial beds look fantastic here in late July. The beds feature new varieties from Darwin perennials, new varieties from Kieft seed with the Artisan Echinacea, that's one you have to make sure you see. Keep an eye out for Primavera, and then throughout the beds you can check all the different perennial varieties from many different breeders in the overwintering beds here. Thank you for watching our brief tour. I encourage you to register for the garden tours at ballseed.com. And I wish you all the best this summer. Thank you.